Reality is fragile. Layers of code, history, and perception stitched together. But what happens when the seams split? When forgotten signals resurface and the familiar becomes something else entirely? Welcome to Glitch Reality. Abandoned houses, they have a way of pulling people in. Some see adventure, others see history, but some places, they aren't meant to be entered. There's a house at the edge of town, empty for 60 years, doors that no longer open, windows that flicker with movement when no one's inside. People have come and people have gone, but no one ever came back. Jake Mercer was looking for a story, a viral video, something to keep his name alive. But what he found was something watching him, waiting. And when something with too many eyes watches you for long enough, you start to see the world the way it does. Those of you with arachnophobia may want to skip today's one because it's about spiders. This is 8 Eyes in the Dark. Every town has one. That one place people talk about in hushed voices. A house that's more than just abandoned. It's avoided. Forgotten, but not really. A story passed down like a warning. For me, it was Maskilly House. 60 years. That's how long it had been standing there, rotting. No one maintains it, no one tries to sell it, but it's never been torn down. Like the town just pretends that the house isn't there. I shouldn't have taken that as a warning. But I was looking for something, a story, a reason to keep my name relevant. And when you spend enough time chasing the truth, you start convincing yourself there's no such thing as real monsters. It was raining that day when I pulled up. The house at the end of a dirt road, wrapped in a wall of dead trees, like the forest had grown tired of keeping it hidden. It wasn't just old, it was wrong. Windows too high, a roof that bent inwards, it was caving in on something inside. And the smell, damp wood, rotting leaves, but underneath it something sour, something that made my stomach clench. Great place to settle down, a real fixer-upper. Then I heard a loud thump. Probably just an animal, right? So I proceed to set up my rig and a small handheld camera, night vision prepped, my clip to my jacket, and I've done this 100 times before. As always, I start with the intro, I set the scene, establish credibility. The trick is always be confident. People believe what you believe. I adjusted the focus, I took a breath, and I hit record. Maskilly House, built in 1953, abandoned after the sudden disappearance of Henry and Lillian Maskilly and their 2 children. Nobody ever found the bodies, no sign of forced entry, they were just gone. Locals say the house has a presence. The people who step inside don't ever come back out. Let's see if they're right. The second I finished talking, the air changed. Like the whole house had just shifted. I told myself it was just the wind, but the trees weren't moving. And then I saw it. In the second floor window, 2 small white dots, and I thought they were reflections, just the way the light hit the glass, but they blinked. Not together, one and then the other. Like it was watching me. But I told myself it was just my mind playing tricks, that I was letting the legends get to me. So I didn't leave. Because there's something worse than fear. And that is not knowing. So, take a deep breath. I touched the door. And I stepped inside. The second I stepped inside, I knew. This wasn't like other places I'd explored. The air here wasn't just stale. It was thick, warm, like something had been breathing in the house for a long, long time. And then the walls, they weren't just old, they were wrong. I brushed my fingers against the wallpaper slightly, dry, brittle, but wet. Wallpaper shouldn't feel like this. It should feel like wallpaper. It should crumble after decades of neglect. But when my fingers brushed against it, it almost felt soft, like old skin. And underneath, something shifted. I ignore it, keep moving, focusing on my camera, on the story. Because if I stopped to think too much about what I was really feeling, what this house really felt like, I might have turned around right then. The entryway had opened into a long hallway, the kind that messes with your depth perception. Paint peeled in strips, the ceiling bowed ahead of me, a doorway. No door, just blackness. But something was ahead of me. Not a sound I recognize, not footsteps, not wind. Something lighter, more deliberate. So I lift my camera, I aim it at the doorway. But through the lens, the darkness wasn't just black. It was moving, like a fabric shifting in a slow, rhythmic pulse. Just a trick of the light. But then the smell hit me. Damp earth, rotting wood, and something sour. Like meat left in the sun for too long. And that's when I knew. I wasn't alone here. I adjust the camera's focus, trying to make sense of the shadows. But the more I stared, the more they stared back. There in the darkness, something had moved. Not a rat. Nothing like a draft shifting old wallpaper. Something deliberate. The deep beam of my flashlight cut through the dust. For a second, just a second, I caught a glimpse. At first, I thought it was just a spider. But then I really saw it. It was crouched just behind the doorway, longer than it should have been. Its body was slick, not covered in hair like normal spiders, no. This thing's exoskeleton was smooth, like a wet stone glistening in the dim light. And its legs, oh God, its legs. Too many joints, bending the wrong way. When it moved, it didn't scuttle. It stretched, slow, patient, like it was deciding what to do with me. A trick of the light. A weird species no one had seen before. That's what I told myself. But then it turned, and I saw its eyes. Spiders have 8 eyes. Tiny, dark, reflective. But this thing, the eyes weren't small. They were huge. Not beady. Not insect-like. They were glossy and black as oil. And there was only 2, staring at me. Like a person. And then it was gone. Scuttled back into the dark, swallowed whole by the house. I should have left right then, but I didn't, because the moment it disappeared, the whispering started. I wanted to tell myself it was just a spider. A big one, sure. Something rare, something undocumented. But the longer I stood there, the more I knew that thing, it wasn't just a spider. I had moved deeper into the house. Every instinct told me to turn back, but something was pulling at me. I could feel it pulling. A feeling I couldn't shake, like the house was expecting me. Then I saw it. The first web. Not a normal web. Not the delicate, intricate kind you see stretched between branches on a cold morning. The strands were thick, pale, glistening in the low light. They stretched across the doorway ahead of me, sagging under their own weight, almost like veins. And what's worse, they were pulsing. It was just like the wind. The old house settling is what I tried to tell myself. I told myself 1,000 lies. But then I found the skin. It was massive. At first I thought it was old, rotten sheets tangled in webbing. But when I bent down, when my fingers brushed against it, when I felt the ridges, the pattern of an exoskeleton, it was a shedding. It had been something shell, a hollowed out husk, but it wasn't just any spider. This thing, it was as big as me. I backed away fast, and then when I saw it, a footprint, but not my footprint. It was pressed into the dust, not human, but almost human. Something else was here. Something was watching me, and it was waiting for me. I should have run. I should have turned back the second I saw that skin, but it was too late now, because now she was awake. The air changed. Not just thicker, but now it had weight, like something unseen was pressing down on me. And the webbing, oh God, the webbing. It was just stretched across the walls anymore. It had grown, expanded, pulsated. And then I saw her. She wasn't just a spider. She was wrong. A twisted thing stitched together from too many parts. Her legs, they weren't just legs. Some were human. Twisted, fused with chitinous planting, bedding in ways they shouldn't bend. Fingers. Human fingers had been used to fuse the joints, twitching independently. Her torso was stretched, elongating before anything natural. Pale, sick flesh patched together, used black webbing to fill the cracks. I could see faces, half fused into her body, mouth still moving, whispering something too soft to understand. And her eyes, too many eyes, some insect, some human, but all focused on me. I wanted to scream, but then she smiled. Her mouth, it wasn't supposed to do that. She built herself from them. Their faces, they were still alive. And she wasn't finished. But then, stay. I couldn't move. The web had me. The thick, sticky strands wrapped around my arms, my legs, holding me in place. Not too tight. Not yet. I wasn't dead, which meant she was waiting. She understood. Not just wild instinct, but intelligence. She was thinking, deciding what to do with me. You don't have to kill me. I can help you. I can bring people here. I make videos. Thousands of people watch. I can bring you more. Think about it. I'm useful to you. More than just... She was listening. She understood. She just didn't care. Hey guys, it's Jake, back with another deep dive. You know, I never leave a mystery unsolved. You've all been asking about the old house. Well, I went back. And let me tell you, it is beautiful. I wanted you all to see. So come visit. Because I'll be waiting. So what did you guys think? Just another urban legend? Or a warning? Some places don't just take you, they keep you. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Glitch Reality. If you found yourself lost in the darkness, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share the glitch with others. Every follow helps me keep the stories flowing, and trust me, they're only going to get stranger from here. Until next time, keep your eyes on the glitch, because sometimes the glitch is true.